No, actually,
I thought you were doing the hot dogs for Fred's.
no, I did.
Okay.
But before then, it was strange because after being in the business for so long, and sort of just digging people in general, and because I like to make friends and all that stuff. The next move, I was R&D director for Corporate Fuzzy's Taco Shop, which was like all of them.
Right.
And that
that's right. I remember that. I didn't think that lasted very long.
It didn't. I just met a guy and made friends with a gentleman named Chuck Bush. Him and his dad kind of brought it to what it is today, and just dug the dude. I thought he was cool.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Hey man, you want to come do some work over here? See how you feel about it?" I'm like, "No, why not, man? I've not really done much, outside of my culture of corporate restaurant.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I guess we'll go back into corporate restaurant.
Yeah.
But on a different, on a different team,
Right.
sort of like feeling out. It's like, who you are as a professional.
Sure.
Because in the meantime, I had a deal going on. I wanted to start a hot dog chain, and that was sort of a dream that I wanted to accomplish with Rodeo Goat, because we were grinding so much, man. Like not just work, but like grinding a lot of meat, and we were learning a lot of stuff. How to make flavors and bust down big pieces of meat and small ones.
Big old pieces of.
And I'm like, man, I want to put these in a tube. Wouldn't that be awesome? Well, we can do this. And it's like, no. But I'm like, I want to do what I want to do. I'm going to figure out how to do it.
Yeah.
I don't care where the next bus stops, but it's got to end at.
It seems like
meat in a tube.
they put a lot of time and effort into you. Not to let you explore that at least a little bit.
Yeah,
because that was pretty successful for Fred's.
It was. Yeah, it really was. And I think the most successful thing, after I, spent a little time doing the corporate gig with Fuzzies, and still, I mean, every stop along the way, developing really cool relationships with people that put a lot of damn hard time into the business.
Sure.
Because it's almost like the music business. It's a very tough.
It's a grind.
It's hard. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It is. So don't fool yourself if you think that it's all.
I know how to make an omelet. I could be a chef.
Yeah, I know how to sprinkle shit and fucking put dots on a plate with sauce. It's like, oh, all right, Junior, buckle up.
What the fuck is that about? I get it. Oh, it's gonna look pretty. I get it, but still.
Yeah, sure, but you can't. It's kind of like when I do the some teaching gigs with some of the different places, like just some culinary instruction. One hard lesson, getting beyond the, like, I guess growing mature as a like I guess an artist. It's the same thing as like if you're a guitar player or drummer, being like, you know what, you have to be able to put the work in and learn the essentials and learn the science behind stuff, behind what you're doing in the business before you can become an artist and blossom. You can't. There's no way to skip to being an artist. Sorry, it doesn't happen.
You got to learn your chops.
I don't give a fuck if you're Michelangelo or Gordon Ramsay or Ingve or what, or Neil Peart, whatever. You have to you got to grind, man. You got to learn your essentials.
Right, but every one of those guys you mentioned spent years
upon years
studying
and the funny thing is, most of those guys still don't feel accomplished.
Well, that's good, because once I've kind of figured it is, in my own, fucking lackluster art that I have.
No, come on
now. We'll compare awards here in a minute, and we'll see how quickly this game is done. Johnny, go. I'm done. I got nothing. Anyway, in my lackluster as an artist, if I ever felt that I was okay, I'm done. I'm an accomplished artist, and I've done everything I can. What's the point? And now I got to move on to something else.
Mm-hmm.
You got to want something. There's got to be something out there that's better than what you got, better than what you're doing. Or at least something that you want to aspire to do as an artist. Because if you don't, then you're kind of lost.
Really, yeah. I mean, the most interesting kind of mantra that kept floating through my head for a while when, because you always cross your own little personal thresholds, but one thing that keeps popping in your head is like, once I feel comfortable, then I'm doing something wrong, man. I gotta. Keep them feet moving.
Sure. For me, it seemed like there was a very dark period in your life there at the end of the rodeo goat kind of thing. That it was really bad. I was kind of concerned for you for a while.
Yeah, I mean, it's it was like rearranging my. Well, a lot of stuff was going on, just kind of rearranging my whole life as I knew it for a very long time.
Sure. I mean, if you just taking away the 14 years of your life, walking away from that, that's a big deal.
Yeah, it's almost like not being prepared, and that had repercussions on not just my professional life, but personal and relationship and
because
and just outlook on life in general. It's
14 years of doing the same routine, and all of a sudden it's done. It's
and
almost
being in
like
the same culture. You feel kind of like you jumped off.
Well, I would compare it to like an addict getting out of that lifestyle. I'm not necessarily saying that
Well,
I mean, there's
that's
like a
fair to say,
lifestyle
really,
change.
yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a big deal.
You're part of a structure, and it's like, wow.
What do I do now?
What am I now?
Right. Identity. I felt like you were kind of going through a bit of an identity crisis,
because you get so used to your favorite comrades to your left and to your right, and you reach in both directions, and you're like, oh shit, that's right, I jumped off the ship.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like a double-edged sword. You know, it's like, fuck, I hate doing the same shit over and over and over again. I want to branch out and do other things different.
Yeah.
But on the other side, it's like, well, fuck, I've been doing the same shit for the past fucking decade and a half.
Yeah.
What the fuck do I do now?
And I think, it's a growing pain. And,
Sure.
And sort of, within the last year or two, I've just now sort of got a barometer on what's important again. Because, I was just wrapped up in work for so long, and really the culture of a business and and goals and constantly achieving. But you don't have like Johnny O. I've known you for many years. It's like we probably didn't see each other for a few years.
There was a while, it was a while there.
And then same with my best friend Ty, and family. It's like the cliches are real, and it's easy to kind of recreate your reality into you just exist within those four walls, and once you're not in those, once you try to find a different, whether it's going to be a four walls or an open space, that's a shock on the system, man.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's it's you've been doing the same. Like, your identity kind of gets wrapped up into, especially here in the American culture, right? So in America, like when you meet somebody, first time you meet somebody, what are the top 3 questions you ask? What's your name? What do you do? So on and so forth. You go to go overseas, go to Britain or something. You ask somebody what they do for a living. That's considered a rude question.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So here, it's so much of our identity of what we do.
Really is.
What is your profession? Well, I'm a lawyer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We get so wrapped up in it.
I did an interview with Bud Kennedy from the Star Telegram when I was at Fred's doing the hot dog thing. And this was interesting because, I was still kind of, it was very healthy to work with those guys. Terry Chandler and Quincy Wallace, those are solid dudes, man. They're just,
this is at Fred's.
Fred's, yeah. I mean, that's all, I guess, I just call them the Outlaw Chef Incorporated. I mean, that's sort of the way I identify those guys. But I was having a conversation with Quincy after one of the interviews at Fred's, and I was sort of new kid on the block, and it's like, all right, yeah, the old Rodeo Go guys with the Fred's guys now, and now he's doing the hot dog thing. And a question from Bud, and it's, I like Bud Kennedy, and I like all those guys, but they're press people, and they ask press questions.
Sure.
And one of them was, "Are you?" It was weird because I'm sort of a deep thinker, and I really look into shit probably further than I should.
Yeah, absolutely.
But he's like, do you feel like, are you worried that since you left such a big place like Rodeo Go, and you cut your, even though some of my best work that I'm proud of happened way before that, are you worried about fading and not being noticed again, and the limelight fading and this and that? I'm just in it. Sort of the musician kicked in.
Sure.
In my head, I'm like, well, fuck off, dude. Really? Okay. First of all, I'm not fucking dead.
Right.
Second of all, that's you don't. If you're a dude like me, you don't stop creating, and you don't worry about stupid fucking questions like that. Because, like, of course not. I still, I've connected again with the what got me to anywhere good in the first place, which is friends, family, and then made some of the tightest relationships that still last today, and also get to volunteer and help people that are hurting, and
that's probably one of the cooler things that that not a lot of people know about you is that you do volunteer a lot. You do a lot of the, you go to the struggling areas and volunteer your time, your talents. I've always said that the best way out of poverty is education, is through education, and
that's absolutely true.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't know any better, then how do you know how to do better? And you go out there and you teach these kids and sometimes adults, whatever, you teach people. Hey, look,
it's funny because even the adults that we encounter, it's like they're always kids in your head.
Sure,
because not of life experience, because they probably, if it's a 50-year-old person that has seen a lot more life than
I have seen some shit.
I've seen some shit, and far be it from me to assume anything, but
sure.
I know you're here as a regiment, almost like boot camp, to learn some fucking skills and get your ass into a job.
Right.
Tie them shoes up, get some pride back. Maybe you were a fucking lackluster motherfucker in your younger years and something happened. Shit happens.
Right.
Let's dig in that spirit again and use the avenue of culinary in the disciplines, the principles of, of a rigid process in the culinary world. Let's get you back in the game.
Right. Yeah, that's cool, man. Like I said, a lot of people in your shoes wouldn't do that. A lot of people
it kind of it's a symbiotic relationship because it saved my ass too.
Well, sure, and that's what I always tell people who kind of look about. Well, I don't know if I have time to volunteer. I don't know if I'm in the right place mentally or emotionally to volunteer. You're helping yourself too because you're giving yourself purpose.
100%.
It's something to be able to help somebody and sit there and be part of that person's recovery or that part of that person's rebound or whatever.
Yeah.
Just being a part of somebody's life, hell, sitting down and talking to some old lady for 3 hours about her poodle.
Sometimes even more so than throwing money at it. I mean,
yeah, see, this
time
day and
is
age
more precious than like just, you could see a guy and give him a few bucks and get the feel goods, but
what does that what does it really do?
Did you help give him a tangible skill?
Right,
or,
exactly.
The thing that lasts longer than anything, and you already targeted this, is, give him knowledge. That's more precious than gold.
Absolutely.
That will make him the money.
Sure. You know what I mean? And too often these people talk about, well, I give monetarily to this chapter of this, that, and the other, and that's all well and good. Now, everybody appreciates.
Maybe that's all they know how to do. I don't know.
Sure. Yeah. A lot of people don't think about it. A lot of people get kind of too wrapped up in their own lives to think, well, maybe I need to take out half an hour a week, 30 minutes a week, and go to the soup kitchen and just fucking feed somebody some soup and listen to them tell me whatever it is they want to tell me about their life, or you know what I mean. People forget that there is something to be said about this connection. We are social beings. We
Absolutely.
need to connect with people some way, and it's not just I texted that guy yesterday. Fuck off. You connect with the telephone. Call the motherfucker up every now and again.
A lot of these guys are starving because you're right. I mean, that's part of we're broken up into a lot of different factors from spirit, intellectual, physical, and yeah, man, you got to just to let somebody know you're not alone. And
right,
that
I see you.
That can actually probably. Maybe deposit that shit in the bank, and you can save somebody's life for at least, let's say, 2 more days a week, 2 weeks a year. Who knows?
Right.
You don't know what that means to somebody.
Sure. Man, we got into some deep shit here.
Fuck, I'm not even stoned.
Oh, Kevin Moon tells me I need to watch my filthy mouth. I don't think that's going to fucking happen.
Wow.
If my mother can't get me to stop cursing.
Well, I would say then stop being a filthy whore.
I know. It's bad.
Can't help it. You just traipse around town, just
That's
showing that asshole.
So now you got Gorgonzilla.
Gorgonzilla.
Yeah.
Monsters of Milk. Gourmet grilled cheese, baby.
Yeah, I'm so disappointed that you didn't bring Gorgonzilla.
Man,
Kelly, if you're listening, get the keys.
She will roll that be like, hey hon,
just drive it slow, don't do over 25.
Yeah, we're coming up on our sort of soft grand opening. We're gonna roll this